Timing out our next chance of rain in the forecast tonight on WTOS.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Welcome to The News Now. I'm Cyria Sandlin. Thank you for joining us. If you missed Daybreak, we are going to get you caught up on everything you need to know from yesterday's elections. We are live right now on WTOC.com, the news app, and Facebook. So leave me a comment, join the conversation, and we are first going to begin with Cutter Martin. So Cutter, some rain possibilities in our forecast today.
Yeah, I think a few showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms. Right now, though, the forecast not too bad. It's really gray outside. WTOC, Franklin Chevrolet, Chatham Parkway, Skycam, but only a couple isolated showers out in Tattnall County, pushing towards Evans County. Temperature already up to 70, reporting the clouds, and you can feel the humidity this morning at 100%. Not the best hair day. Keep it in a ponytail. We're going to keep the humidity all day long. The fog near zero visibility way across Alma over to Baxley, down to Jessup, though more recently reporting better visibility, Hazelhurst as well. This will be out of the forecast within the next hour to hour and a half. Savannah Metro, it's gray, it's a little gloomy, but visibility is better. So in your coffee forecast, again, it's a gradual process, but some are already seeing sunshine. I think as we continue to go through the morning, it's still going to be mild, still going to be muggy at 10, well into the 70s, many communities by then, but just an isolated rain chance, couple pop-ups again, that'll continue through the lunch hour. And as we go through the next few days, this overall kind of cloudy, occasionally gloomy and wet weather pattern will continue. Breaking down today's rain chance, as mentioned, through lunchtime we have the isolated to kind of scattered rain chance. Hour by hour you can see that here. Overall not that much rain, but some little showers developing, enough to wet the pavement, maybe soak in a few communities here, yards, lawns, and plants through the early afternoon across the metro. And then we're going to be watching, not sure exactly how this plays out, but 5, 6, 7 o'clock, notice the band of showers and thunderstorms developing in middle Georgia, trying to backtrack into the coastal empire and low country. That's 11 o'clock tonight, so we're going to be watching it for a while, but this may gradually shift in overnight tonight into your Thursday morning, giving us a wetter drive in, followed by more pop-up showers and storms Thursday afternoon, and a little cooler, keeping it relatively mild there Friday, 40% chance of showers and storms. But going into the weekend, we cool down, and we get downright cold next week, folks. I will be timing out the next in a series of cold fronts coming up on the Weather Now, a digital forecast at 11 a.m. Andrew.
Yeah, traffic-wise this morning, there's a little bit of fog out there slowing some folks down, but over in downtown, things are looking good. That's where the Jamie Casino traffic tracker is, but I want to show you where we've had those slowdowns this morning. I think this accident's cleared here, but 21 southbound still backed up, and 30 there heading toward 21 earlier today. There were a couple accidents there, but let's take you to where that accident is. This is a minor one causing some backups there on President Street going toward Truman, but that, again, just a minor. Also looking at 16, everything clear there. Also 80, 95, all looking good here this morning if you're about to step out the door. No big backups there, but 21 southbound, that's just where we've had the congestion here today. There's a look at some of those drive times, and looking at 16 eastbound, everything back in the green. We'll have updates throughout the morning on Twitter. Just search traffic WTOC.
Well, continuing our election coverage, this election saw almost historically high levels of enthusiasm for a non-presidential year, but that high voter turnout led to some very long lines and other issues at the polls. Zach Logan joining us live from the Chatham County Elections Office with more. So, Zach, you actually spoke with officials. What are they saying about all of this high turnout and the problems it created?
Well, Zaria, the polls may have closed last night at 7, but still voters were at their polling locations for hours after that. Remember, as long as they were in line at 7, by the time the polls closed, they were still able to vote. So many poll workers worked late into the night as these voters casted their ballots. We're hearing that some people stayed at their polling locations until 10 o'clock last night trying to cast their votes for this election. Go ahead and take a look at this video so you can see some of the long lines that we saw all across Chatham County. Now, people were waiting in these long lines for an extended amount of time. We've heard actually from some people who say they waited more than 3 hours to cast their ballots. Some people complained that there wasn't enough machines. Now, I met with Chatham County Board of Elections Chair Tuesday afternoon and told him about the complaints. He says the Board of Elections underestimated voter turnout for this election. He says when it comes to assigning the polling machines at the different precincts, they follow a certain formula. Take a listen.
But it gets pretty tough when you're trying to guess how many people are going to be there that day. And we did anticipate a higher turnout, but this turnout has surpassed even those expectations.
The chair says his team will go over yesterday's procedures and talk about how they can do better for the elections in the future. Now, when it comes to adding more polling machines to some of our precincts, the chair says that he will look at the voter turnout for the next few elections to see if Chatham County needs to purchase more of those voting machines. Reporting in Savannah, Zach Logan, WTOC News.
All right, thank you very much, Zach. Well, all over Georgia, there were reports of long lines and technical malfunctions at polling places. Many places only had a few machines available to handle the crowd of voters. Here's some video of Gwinnett County, where some voters didn't get to cast their ballots until very late last night. They had to extend voting hours to accommodate the lines. And the most heated race in Georgia, and one of the most heated races nationwide, is still not over this morning. Almost all of the votes have been counted, but neither candidate is backing down. Here's a look at where everything stands in the governor's race. Republican Brian Kemp is ahead with just over 50% of the vote. Abrams is about 70,000 votes behind him. That's Stacey Abrams, the Democrat candidate. Libertarian Ted Metz brought in about 36,000 votes. Both Abrams and Kemp kept their supporters hopeful late into the night. Abrams says she believes there's enough ballots left to count to give her a runoff election. Here's what they had to say to their base this morning.
Folks, make no mistake, the math is on our side to win this election. We will continue to work to put hard-working Georgians first and keep our state moving in the right directions.
And we believe our chance for a stronger Georgia is just within reach. But we cannot seize it until all voices are heard.
Well, if the vote stands as it is now, Brian Kemp will replace Governor Nathan Deal in the state capitol. If Abrams can make up 0.5%, that race will go to a runoff. All currently registered voters will have another chance to vote then on December 4th. Of course, we continue to keep updated on these numbers, and we will let you know the results. And some good news for South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster. He's keeping his job. McMaster has served as governor for almost 2 years now. He won his first full term last night, defeating Democrat James Smith by about 150,000 votes. Another result we are following from overnight, Democrat Joe Cunningham has defeated Republican Katie Arrington in the race for South Carolina's first congressional seat. That race was pretty close in the end. Cunningham only ahead by a few thousand votes, with 100% of precincts reporting. Now listen to this. This is the first time that seat has been turned blue since 1981. There will most likely still be a recount, but that's where the numbers stand at this time. Hilton Head Island does not have a new mayor this morning. We waited until early in the morning for results, and it's going into a runoff. John McCann is in the lead of this crowded race. Look at all these contestants. He and Kim Likens will campaign for a few more weeks. That runoff is on November 20th. Moving back to Georgia now, Republican Congressman Buddy Carter will keep his seat in the House. Congressman Carter held off his Democratic opponent, Lisa Ring, taking this one 59% to 41%. This will be the congressman's third term in Congress. We talked to him after his victory party about what's coming next in D.C.
I look forward to it, continuing to emphasize health care and accessible, affordable health care, continuing to work on districts for our district projects like the Savannah Harbor Expansion Project, like our military, and like our ag.
Good. How are you? At his results party last night, Carter said he's incredibly grateful for the continued support from his home district. Meanwhile, Lisa Ring says she is still proud of what her campaign achieved.
We energized an entire district. You supported me in my vision when I tried to follow in the footsteps of those who came before us.
Ring said her campaign is just the beginning for her and her supporters, challenging the crowd. They can still do more. And several cities in our area decided they want to be able to consume more alcohol earlier on Sundays. The Sunday Brunch Bill won with an overwhelming majority in the cities in which it was on the ballot. The bill would allow Sunday sales of alcohol starting at 11 a.m. The only precinct not reporting is Statesboro. Well, I see a lot of you are joining us this morning, kind of looking for the results of last night's elections. Hello, Metter. A lot of people complaining about the issues at the polls yesterday. Christie said, why wouldn't more people take advantage of early voting? I heard from a lot of people that it was up to an hour, 2-hour wait at some of the early voting locations. So I know early voting, there were some issues as well. A lot of voters from our county who support Kemp had trouble voting, according to Carly. Again, this is one of the things we're going to be looking into in the next couple of days, how all of this happened with the elections. That's the Board of Elections that we are going to be talking to. A lot of you saying you support this candidate, that candidate. Well, anyways, we are going to continue getting those election results. Again, Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp, neither of them conceding this election. It's a tight race. We should hopefully know within a few hours who will be our next governor, and we will be back at 10 a.m. with another update. We'll see you then.